before we got here, even though the time went up an hour. Everybody is ignorant to something. We're human. Only God is omniscient. He's the only one that got all knowledge. All not science. Omniscient, all not science, knowledge. God has all knowledge. Humans are limited in what we know, and then when we do find out, we still don't understand. And we know we can't do everything. We're limited. We're human. God is science, omniscient, and omniscient. So, wisdom is to be heard because of her pre-existence. So we saw that in verse 22 to 31. Briefly here, the key word is before. In verse number 22, the Lord possessed me, wisdom, in the beginning of his way, take one word, before his works of old. That means before creation, before in the beginning God created the heaven and earth, wisdom already was in existence. She was before creation. Use word that's synonymous to it in verse 23. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or hit my word, ever. That word ever can be translated before the earth was. Then they give these synonymous phrases. When there was no depth, or before. When there was no fountain, or before. Then we get the word again in 25. Before the mountain. Then you see again in 25. Before the hill. Then you see again in verse 26 in this phrase. While as yet he had not made, or before the earth. Then again in 27. Before when he prepared the heavens, I was there. Then we see again in 27. When he set a compass, or before he set the compass upon the face of the deep. Then 28. Before or when he established. Again 28. Or before he strengthened the fountain. Then 29. Or before he gave the sea his decree. Or in verse 29. And he says, when he appointed. All that means before. Wisdom is expressing, here's my resume. I was in existence before anything existed. So you ought to listen to me. I can tell you something. Here's my resume. Only was he before creation, but then in verse number 30, she says, I was beside the Creator. I was before all creation, but I was right beside the Creator. Verse 30. Then I was by him, or intimate, associated with him, as one brought up with him. I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of the earth. My delights were with the sons of men. So we ought to listen to wisdom because of her pre-existence. She was before creation, when, while last, but also not only was she before creation, but she was beside the Creator. Matter of fact, God used wisdom to create everything. It was the wisdom of God that made everything that it made. That's why you ought to listen to her. She was before and she was beside. So we saw her resume, her personality, seek, speak, share. Then we saw her pre-existence before.